I'm Keegan.
And I'm Nick.
And this is the Shivers Report, where you get the most up-to-date real estate information
in the world.
And more specifically in the Pacific Northwest.
So the biggest question we get is the Iran war going to kill the spring residential real estate market? So let's dive in with data instead of just headlines.
Yeah, but just from the headlines, what you would think is there's no doubt. There's no doubt that it would stall what we're seeing.
Slowing down,
Yeah.
because we were starting to see some really massive improvement in pending sales compared to 2025.
Yep.
But let's jump into some national information right now. So let's context macro economics right now. Oil rates, oil prices, Keegan, where are they?
I mean, looking at it this morning, they were at $111 a barrel.
Is that historically high?
I mean, from 6 months ago to 8 months ago, we're about almost, if you depending on where you place the timeline at, you're 100% higher than where we were at that point.
And what's the problem? What does that do?
So that raises costs of food, goods, transportation, everything.
Yeah.
Inflation goes up, and the talks of what everybody was thinking was going to happen, rate cuts that we were going to have this year, we can't do that.
Right.
Because inflation goes up. Even with jobs, wherever that lands.
Yeah. Yeah. So what we just had a job openings, which it was the like very, very low. Unemployment's low as well. So you have job openings and not a lot of people are hiring.
No fires, no hires.
I like that. No fires and no hires.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're at. Kind of like the real estate market's been since 2022. No crashes, but just slow. Not a lot of crashes in transactions, but not values. So I just looked this morning, nationwide, if we look at nationwide, real quick, even though that's happening and all the volatility in the real estate market, we have interest rates are at 6.41, which is really, really good,
Really good
for what is happening and how volatile the market is.
Yeah, I think Logan Motoshami did the math on what it would be like if we were in 2025 or 2024, and it was in the 7%.
Yeah, with the mortgage spreads.
Hug
spreads. Your mortgage spread.
Yep.
Hug your mortgage spread.
Yep.
That's what's keeping our interest rates at 6.41, which is because remember, you always ask the question compared to what? When people are saying, it's going to crash. This time last year, we're at 6.71. So we're at 6.41. Another thing, like a lead indicator that we look at, for future, is mortgage applications. So 4 weeks ago, mortgage applications were up. Purchase applications were up double digits year over year. We've had 3 weeks of week over week negative mortgage applications, and now we're only 1% higher than we were this time last year.
Yeah.
But that, again, doesn't say that what's happening is going to crash it. That being said, what do you think it will do? And then we'll look at the actual what has the market done?
I mean, there's a lot of different factors that go into that. There's a lot of different ways that we could go depending on how long this conflict lasts. Also, I mean, I'm forgetting his name right now, but the new Fed chairman who's supposed to come in. Kevin Warsh. Kevin Warsh is supposed to come in May.
Yeah.
And they haven't had any of his introduction or inauguration because they still have this stuff going on with Powell.
Yeah. Would you even want to be Warsh right now?
No. Because everything that he stood for before he was elected to be the next Fed chairman nominee is right now he'd be hawkish.
Right.
So if he comes in and he starts trying to beat down rates, they're going to know, I mean, that's not going to look good for him starting off in his new position. And he's going to be considered Trump's toy boy in a sense.
Toy boy.
Yeah.
That would not be a good label to have as a toy boy.
No. No, it would not. But I mean, when you stand for something your whole life, and when you're a Fed chair, when you're a Fed governor, I mean, and then to switch up immediately when you get into office, not the best look.
Nope, I would agree. I would not want to be in his shoes because there is no way they're going to be able to cut rates with what's happening right now. I think the talk last night that Trump gave, he tried to ask for forgiveness for about 3 more weeks of pain, because it's going to hit when people start getting hit in the pocketbook.
Yeah.
They quickly lose excitement over wars that are so far away from us, even though potentially, maybe, I don't know, for nuclear issues, but who knows? Who knows on that? But let's kind of look at national and then local updated real estate data so we can say where we're at right now. Because you hear a lot of the crash bros and girls saying values are down. We're going to see a crash greater than the 2008 and 2009. Number one, back in 2010, 23% of all homes were underwater. About 1% are underwater right now. Unless you bought a house in late 2022, and of course, depending on where you're at, you have massive equity, you have great interest rates.
Yeah.
So you're not in trouble. So that is not a condition, and that's one of the big differences. So let's look at national numbers. New listings down 2.6%. Pending sales are flat. Solds are down 2.9%. Pending sales or a median sales price is up 1%, not factoring inflation. Factoring inflation, they're negative.
Yeah.
And then average, the monthly inventory is kind of what would be traditionally called a balanced market. We're about 5 months. I think that is no longer the case. I think when you're at 5 months, you're definitely in a buyer market range.
Yep.
Okay. So the Pacific Northwest is a little bit better. So if we look at Portland Metro, new listings are up 3.3, pending sales are up 3.9, and solds are flat. We have seen zero appreciation in Portland Metro, negative in Portland, and about 16 weeks of inventory. Clark County is out of all the areas, the one shining star. New listings up 11.9%, pendings up 7.7%, solds up 4%, and appreciation at 4%. So that's beating inflation. The only Bend down 2% median sales price. And so that's, you factor inflation, that's about 5%.
Yeah.
Salem's up 1%. So we're doing a little bit better than the national data. I bet if you took out Florida, Texas, you would probably see it kind of matching what the Pacific Northwest is. So, what are we telling our clients right now, Keegan? What are we going to see? What is this spring market going to look like? There are some unknowns, and they're called black swans. We didn't know that Iran. If Iran hadn't happened, I would be so pumped on what the spring market was looking like, because it was turning into one of the best that we've seen since 2022.
Yeah. I think it really depends, and it comes down to if they have to move or if they want to move.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times if you want to move, you want to get it for the top dollar in your mind.
Yeah.
And it's not 2021 anymore.
No.
So you really have to break that down, especially, and sometimes the clients don't even realize it.
Right.
So making sure that you're talking through, okay, what are your goals and plans? If it's just you want to move because you want to move, right now is not a great market for that.
Right. This is what we know, and we see it all the time, because last month I think we took 46 listings. If it's priced right, and we always talk about 3 pricing strategies: aspirational, and then event-based pricing. If it's priced right, in really good condition, in a good location, we're still seeing multiple offers, even in $1 million properties.
Yeah.
If it's beat up a little bit, if it's in remote areas, they've definitely slowed down, or it's overpriced, they're setting. That's why nationally, there are more homes that have been on the market over 60 days than ever before. And kind of to the point you made, a lot of sellers still believe it's in 2021.
Yeah.
And it's not. We're definitely not in 2021.
We're definitely not. And I think we talk about the 3 pricing strategies with our clients up front. Aspirational pricing, perceived market value, and event-based pricing. If you want to try aspirational pricing in this market, you're never going to sell it.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a lot more success with those bottom 2 for getting you the most amount of money than attempting the market, because the longer it sits, the more questions people ask, and they're looking at their options that are on the market right now.
Yeah. Price equals exposure. Competition is where you price it, and then that is the next part is negotiations and making sure that you're professional.
Yeah, because a listing is just an invitation to come look at your property.
Right.
When somebody looks online, is it your property they want to go to, or is it somebody else's? And if yours is in a price point that is most intriguing, you're going to be the first one that they go to.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing that we've been seeing a lot of is the question, is it better to rent than to own? Okay. And right now, if we're just talking cost, renting, especially apartments, is about $1,000 from the average price in America. It's about $1,000 savings, plus there's a ton of incentives. That being said, those are in areas that had supply. I preach this all the time, especially in the Pacific North, with tenant rules and supply restriction and urban growth boundaries. All of that keeps supply down. And that's why we're not seeing the rent drops like you're seeing in Arizona, 3.8, 4%, 5%. Florida, the same way, Texas, where rents since really 2023 have been dropping and dropping fast. So if you only factor in costs and not lifestyle or long-term savings, because historically, people that own homes have a net worth 10 times those that are renting. But that is something that people have to factor in when they're making a decision if they want to move forward. But so to wrap up what we think the spring market's going to look like, what's your take?
It's up in the air. I mean, it could look very different depending on how long this lasts.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, if we're still at the end of the year and this conflict hasn't ended, this spring and summer market could stall in a sense for what we expected.
Yeah.
If it ends sooner rather than later, with rates where they're at right now, I would put my money that it would come down to kind of where we were at before.
Yes.
Obviously, there's some other things that go into that. But, I mean, we were at 5.98%.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it didn't seem like it was going to be one of those ones where it goes below and it pops back up to 6.3 again.
Right.
You never know.
Right.
But I think it really all depends on that conflict.
Yeah. My prediction is this, that it will delay our spring market and we might really see a late summer boom market. And because, again, you like them or hate them, the current administration wanted rates down. So they know that this prolonged war cannot last if they're even going to get a glimpse of getting those rates down. And I hope it's just not too late.
Yeah.
But again, we have to always ask, compared to what? 23, 24. We saw rates hit up to the 8%, and homes still set. There's always going to be someone that needs to move, needs to buy. So just remember that. Look at the headlines. Not the headlines. Read the headlines. Look at the data.
Yeah.
And that will direct you on what you should do.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to the Shivers Report.
If you have any questions about real estate, we have you covered.
Until next time, we're out.